This is United Network News with Sunny Galt, Calen Gipp, Kimberly Gogan, and our field messengers from around the world. Here's today's real news. It's Wednesday, September 24th, 2025, and here are today's stories. A country with plenty of rivers and lakes is now running dry. Why Bulgaria is facing a surprising water crisis and what went wrong. Neighbors in Austria are digging into something different. Fresh seasonal food straight from a community farm model that's all about sharing. From erupting volcanoes to glowing city lights, the world's largest model railway in Hamburg takes imagination to a whole new level. In Senegal, health decisions for women often depend on their husbands. Why that's still the norm and how it shapes daily life. It's big money, high stakes, and millions of birds. Taiwan's pigeon racing culture soars with passion and controversy alike. And we'll wrap it up in the kitchen, where UNN's Kara whips up tahini, hemp, and coconut bars. A simple snack that's as healthy as it is delicious. Bulgaria is struggling with a growing water shortage that's impacting communities across the country. It's hard to imagine how a place with plenty of natural water resources has reached a stage where some towns are struggling to access clean drinking water. This situation raises a critical question. What went wrong, and how can it be fixed? According to official data, around 260,000 Bulgarians are struggling with basic sanitary needs, like bathing and washing clothes, due to an aging water supply system. Frequent droughts and outdated water systems have worsened the water supply problem. Much of Bulgaria's water network, built more than 40 years ago during the communist era, is poorly maintained and inefficient. Limited funding and corruption further delay modernization, leaving the system struggling to meet current needs. On August 14th, the Energy and Water Regulatory Commission launched an inspection of water supply companies. They're investigating issues like water losses, outdated metering systems, and how much companies are actually investing to fix these problems.
Towns and villages in northern Bulgaria are in a state of emergency. People there get limited water supply every other day and are forced to buy bottled water from the shops in order to meet their daily needs. Local authorities are saying they're doing their best, but citizens keep repeating two words: negligence and corruption. Almost two-thirds of the water, coming mostly from dams or surface sources, never reaches the taps. This is the highest percentage of water loss in the European Union. The problem has been around for years. A minister of Environment and Waters was charged and jailed for deliberate mismanagement. His trial is ongoing. Investigations on fraudulent water projects flagged by the European Prosecutor's Office are also ongoing. Water management is split between a number of institutions that keep pointing finger at each other when it comes to the water crisis. It will cost as much as 18 billion euros to replace the whole supply grid.
Pleven has been one of the hardest hit areas. In August, residents only had water for 2.5 hours a day. This sparked protests, which pushed the government to announce plans to renovate the city's water network. Then, in early September, a partial state of emergency was declared in Pleven and nearby areas because of severe water shortages. The goal was to ensure basic water access for residents and public services. Hospitals, schools, and other institutions received bottled water, and officials began assessing where to install water pressure systems. Over in Breznik, water restrictions have been in place since November 2024. The reservoir is almost dry, leading to manganese contamination in the remaining supply. Even with some repairs, leaks are still an issue, and residents depend on scattered water containers, which often aren't enough. Many have resorted to private wells or tanks, but the water is still polluted. All this frustration has led to protests and a petition for clean water. And it's not just Pleven and Breznik. Many other cities are dealing with the same mess, too.
I live in the Polski Trambesz municipality in Bulgaria, and we just got an important update to our current water situation. So if you didn't know, in my region, I'm not aware of other people's situations, but since March maybe this year, we've been on a water saving regime. In my village, we have the water switched off daily from 12 o'clock, like midday, lunchtime, until 5 in the evening, and that's every day since March. I'm unaware if other villages in my municipality or even the region or other places in Bulgaria have the same sort of situation, but today we just got an update, and now the water cannot be used for anything other than household use. So showers, drinking and cooking, I guess. So due to droughts, lack of rain, there's just not enough water. The drinkable water now cannot be wasted on things such as watering your garden, cleaning your car, stuff like this. Anything that is just a waste.
Agriculture is also taking a hit. Sunflower and corn harvests, key export crops, are expected to reach record lows due to limited irrigation. Farmers are reporting growing challenges in caring for their livestock. Experts warn without major changes, things will only get worse. Higher water and food prices, health risks, and ongoing frustrations are just the beginning if these issues aren't addressed head-on.
In Austria, a community is coming together to grow and share fresh, seasonal vegetables through a farm-supported model. UNN Field Messenger Elke explores this self-sufficient way of life.
Hi, I'm Elke, Field Messenger for UNN, reporting from Carinthia, Austria, and today I want to introduce you to a project, to an initiative that provides people in my region with fresh, high quality and self-produced fruit and vegetables. When it comes to a self-sufficient, self-determined life, nutrition, as we all know, is a key issue. The demand for organic, regional and also seasonal food is constantly growing. In Austria, there are around 200 networks dedicating themselves to the distribution of food coming from the same region, such as food cooperatives or community-supported agricultures. The initiative is run by two very ambitious women. One of them I was talking to. Okay, so Elke, what is the concept of the Gelavi Zwiebelzopf?
The Gelavi Zwiebelzopf means gemeinschaftsgetragene Landwirtschaft, which is community-supported agriculture. And it means that the community supports us in that way that they are part of the agriculture. They pay a monthly amount of money to get the vegetables we grow. And they commit to be 1 year with us. If there is a lot of, they will get a lot of, and they can fix it for the winter or freeze it, give it to the neighbor, whatever. And if there is, for example, if we have a thunderstorm which destroys some vegetables, then they get less, and they even keep on paying the same amount, because it's not about they not pay for the vegetables. That may be the mainly difference to other concepts. They pay for the agriculture keep going on. And everybody can choose the amount of money they pay or they support us, not depending on the amount of vegetables they take. So we support in between each other also. We grow different kind of, so very seasonal, and it's changing from season to season. Only in the winter it's hard to grow something here because we have -degrees, so only in the tunnel there are some salads. But during the year we have all kinds of like carrots, onion, garlic, pumpkin, salads, different kinds of salads. We have zucchini, we have red beetles, where they, beans, different beans, the cauliflower, broccoli, different kind of, all you can imagine kind of things and even each year we try something new, which and then we see how it fits for our region. We have like this, it's 0.5 hectare of land where we grow the vegetables. We have a small one tunnel, and the rest is mostly everything is outside. So in the springtime it starts, and also the small plants we from the seeds on we grow them. So we are 4 people working together, and the community people come and help us from time to time.
Okay, Milan, you are working here as a mover, right?
Yes, exactly.
And what is your motivation? Why are you here? Why did you come here?
First, I was here just because of my friends and for the location, and I was, to be honest, a little skeptical of this project. But then I found out that then I met the people behind it, and I worked here, and I found out it's quite interesting, and it is something very unique, I think. And yes, now I'm here. And my motivation is to make my own food and to learn the process behind it. How much work is put behind the food, and
This feels so right for me, and I always love to work with the earth, with the ground. I learned how to grow vegetables from my grandmother, my mother, and I learned here a lot of things again. So to have the flexibility to work here, to choose my time when I come, when I go, to be flexible also as a single mother with my daughter in that way. It gives me a lot of freedom, and it's very meditative for me to be with the vegetables, to keep them, to see them growing. It's a miracle all the time. To put a seed, and then after some months you get the harvest, and you see how big the plant was growing, and it's so much to be connected with the earth and with all these miracles on this planet.
There are already many food initiatives out there, and I think this to be really great and also important. Maybe you join already one of them, or it's time for you to develop ideas how to get and share food directly from your neighborhood. Elke, Field Messenger for UNN. Thanks for watching.
UNN Field Messenger Sophia visits the world's largest model railway in Hamburg, Germany. From tiny trains and bustling cities to erupting volcanoes and glowing LED nights, this magical miniature universe is a place where imagination has no limits.
This is Sophia, Field Messenger for United Network News from Hamburg in Germany again. Located in the heart of Hamburg historic Speicherstadt lies a world where continents shrink and imagination knows no limits. The so-called miniature Wonderland is the world's largest model railway and one of Germany's most beloved tourist attractions. What began as a childhood dream by the visionary twin brothers, Frederick and Gerrit Brown, turned into an ambitious project in the year 2000 and has grown into a miniature universe now spanning over 1,700 square meters of model areas with meticulously crafted landscapes. Here some monumental figures. As by today, the miniature Wonderland shows structures at a scale of 1:87 with more than 1,200 control trains pulling more than 12,000 wagons. The facility was designed with around 5,300 houses and bridges, more than 11,000 vehicles, of which around 285 driven independently by the system. and 47 aircrafts with 500 takeoffs and landings per day. Around 500,000 tiny figures are populating cities, villages, airports, and mountain ranges. Each scene is built with incredible detail, more than I can even mention here. The day-to-night transition happens every 15 minutes, with about 500,000 built-in LED lights providing the nighttime scenery like Italy here, with a football stadium, and Hamburg's pride, the Elbphilharmonie, spectacularly showing scenarios inside its belly. What makes this miniature world so remarkable, besides the meticulous detailed scenery with astonishing realism, is its global scale landscape. And just to name a few, starting here in Hamburg, Speicherstadt, you might find yourself in places like a wintertime in Sweden, Italy with its places like Venice, Rome with its Colosseum, not to forget the Vatican, but also a spectacular eruption of the Vesuvio volcano south of Italy. Monaco, also famous for its yacht harbor, and another technical masterpiece showing the detailed inside of a billionaire yacht. And we have Florida, Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, and its famous carnival. Behind the magic, you see the staff monitoring the directions of traffic and numerous functions carefully. Overall, there is a dedicated team of over 300 model builders, technicians, programmers, and artists, many of whom spend months, even years, constructing new sections. Miniature Wonderland has become Germany's top-rated tourist attraction. Not just a place to see tiny trains, but to witness the power of storytelling in miniature. Miniature Wonderland is more than a model railway. It's a celebration of curiosity, precision, and the joy of seeing the world through smaller eyes. It reminds us that even in miniature, imagination can be monumental. I hope you like this report. Thank you for watching. This is Sophia signing off.
At New Earth Innovations, we search the planet for nature's most powerful healers. This took us all the way to the coast of New Zealand. Our Omega 369 Plus is made from the Perna green-lip mussel, rich in omegas, chondroitin sulfate, and rare glycosaminoglycans. The Perna is one of nature's powerhouses. Support joint flexibility, easier breathing, better digestion, and a calmer, less inflamed body naturally. Grown in clean New Zealand waters, backed by nature, sustainably sourced, trusted by thousands. Subscribe today and start feeling the difference.
Hey, I'm Kirsten from Switzerland.
This is Wayne from Tucson.
Hi, my name is Desmond from Ghana.
I am Claudia from Dawsonville, Georgia.
I'm Mikey from Pretoria, South Africa.
Hi, I'm Steve McGrath, Fort McMurray, Alberta, Canada.
People from all around the world are coming together.
Happy day, beautiful world. We are here in a rather small urban garden, and this video is just to show you the joys that we've had in this garden with the electric gardening.
When news happens in their area, they show us what's really going on.
We have people in the streets protesting for and against.
At United Network News, our field messengers are changing the face of news.
This is Field Messenger Helen reporting with nature, and I'm going to talk to you about the bees again.
Take the next step in restoring our planet. Become a UNN Field Messenger today.
Hi, I'm Stephanie from South Africa. If it's going to be, it's up to me.
If it's going to be, it's up to me.
It's up to me.
It's up to me. It's up to me.
It's up to me.
It's up to all of us. We're UNN, and we're taking back the news.
In Senegal, like in many West African countries, men are often the ones calling the shots at home, especially when it comes to big decisions. like health. Women usually need their husband's permission to access things like family planning, prenatal care, or even to give birth in a hospital. It's a dynamic deeply tied to the country's patriarchal system. This system isn't just cultural, it's also written into the law. Senegal's family law officially designates men as heads of the household, giving them authority over family matters. For many women, especially those in rural areas, this setup brings huge challenges, even though they're often the ones caring for the family, managing the home, and even earning an income. They don't have the power to make basic decisions without their husband's approval. Change is slow because the system benefits men, and they don't want to give up that control. Women usually avoid pushing back against these norms, sometimes out of fear, but also because it feels impossible to challenge the status quo. This is where Schools for Husbands comes in. In some parts of Senegal, these programs aim to teach men about the value of supporting their wives' autonomy, especially in health and family decisions. They're creating room for conversations that challenge old traditions and slowly give women a bigger voice in their own lives.
This is the School for Husbands. In Senegal, it is a new kind of school redefining what it means to be a man. It trains respected community leaders to practice and promote positive masculinity, a model of manhood built not on dominance but on empathy, accountability, and care. In general, the term positive masculinity is without controversy. Critics argue that labeling these traits as masculine can reinforce the idea that empathy, gentleness, or emotional openness are only valuable for men, rather than qualities everyone should embrace. Some say it risks keeping men tied to traditional gender expectations instead of challenging the system entirely. But the idea of this School for Husbands is to encourage men to embrace courage, responsibility, and leadership, while also showing vulnerability, respect, and emotional openness. It rejects toxic norms like aggression and control and replaces them with healthier identities that benefit families and entire communities. Religious leaders called imams are leading the lessons to show men that sharing chores, supporting wives during pregnancy, and standing against violence is what real strength is all about. The result has been more women giving birth safely in hospitals, fewer forced marriages, and men who are not just husbands and fathers, but true partners.
Efforts to address men's roles have also highlighted the importance of girls' rights, equality, and the harms of female genital mutilation. This practice, rooted in traditions across parts of Africa, the Middle East, and Asia, affects an estimated 230 million women and girls, according to a 2024 UN report. Most procedures occur on girls under 5 years old, and it has severe physical and psychological consequences, sometimes leading to death from infections or trauma. Female genital mutilation has been illegal in Senegal since 1999, with strict penalties for anyone involved, including medical professionals. In 2022, Senegal launched its third national strategy to end the practice by 2030. Efforts by advocacy groups have also led thousands of communities to abandon female genital mutilation, even though changing mindsets is difficult and takes time.
In the beginning, it was hard because the men didn't know what goes on when you practice this female tradition. They just accepted that that was what was done.
We visited Sonkoro Jambang, village chief, now in retirement, who recalls being approached by women in the community. He called together religious leaders. Senegal is a predominantly Muslim country.
They said, "Let us look in the Quran and see where it is written that women must go through this." And they found nowhere where it said that they must be cut.
That interpretation removed a significant hurdle to abandoning FJC in many communities and drew the support of men. Indeed, many social mobilizers and Tostan staff are male, many driven by memories of a loved one's suffering.
Despite some progress, there's still a long way to go. Violence against women, discriminatory attitudes, and lack of access to basic rights like civic registration continue to hold women and girls back in Senegal. Traditions run deep, and change doesn't happen overnight. Still, programs like Schools for Husbands, combined with education and advocacy, are slowly making a difference in women's lives. In Taiwan, pigeon racing is more than a hobby. It's a national obsession. With hundreds of thousands of breeders, millions of birds, and prize money that rivals professional sports, this feathered competition has soared into a league of its own. But with the glory comes controversy, from cheating scandals to concerns about animal welfare. Love it or hate it, pigeon racing has become a defining part of Taiwan's cultural landscape, with no sign of fading anytime soon. Pigeon racing has deep roots in Taiwan, dating back to Japanese colonial rule a century ago, when working-class communities started training homing pigeons as a hobby. Over the years, it's exploded into one of the largest racing industries in the world, involving around 200,000 breeder trainers across 80 regional clubs, and as many as 2 million pigeons competing each year. That scale alone makes Taiwan stand out. But what really grabs attention are the staggering prize pools, sometimes topping 30 million new Taiwan dollars, which is about 1 million US per season. And that's not even counting the underground betting scene, where side wagers can balloon into hundreds of millions.
There's a thing called pigeon racing, and it's possibly a billion-dollar industry. Recently, one bird was sold for a record $1.4 million. It often involves pigeons flying thousands of kilometers. This is how it works. On race day, pigeon fanciers, that's what people who race pigeons are called, release their birds who are hundreds if not thousands of kilometers away from their respective bird lofts. Depending on the race, around 20,000 pigeons can be released at the same time. The shortest can be 100-kilometer sprints. Long-distance races can go up to 1,200 kilometers. The speed of the bird is calculated and the fastest bird wins the race. And it takes a pigeon 12 to 14 hours non-stop to travel around 1,000 kilometers. On hot days, they can take longer, as it's believed that they sometimes stop for a quick water break. But that's just a guess, because it's not possible to track the birds with a GPS. Most trackers are still too heavy. So until technology advances, the pigeons have a ring on their foot, which enables the racers to calculate their speed. This is actually how the winners of the race are determined.
In Taiwan, pigeon racing isn't just about letting birds fly home. It's a structured sport with strict rules. One major requirement is racers swap out their pigeons each year, keeping the competition fresh and the birds in peak condition. The pigeons live in specially designed lofts where owners train them daily to build strength and sharpen their homing instincts. The commitment is intense. Racers invest countless hours and resources into feeding, training, and monitoring their birds like elite athletes. High-stakes auctions are common, with top pigeons selling for staggering sums. And behind it all, success often comes down to one thing: bloodlines, where pedigree can make or break a racing season.
In pigeon racing, not all birds are created equal. The bloodline of a racing pigeon plays a huge role in how well it performs in different types of races, whether it's a quick 150-mile sprint or a grueling marathon over 500 miles. Great breeders focus on maintaining and improving specific traits like speed, stamina, homing instinct, intelligence, and recovery time. When you start with proven genetics, you're already a step ahead of the competition. What truly sets top racing pigeons apart is not just their bloodline, but also how they are bred and crossed. Most of today's champions are not pure strains, but rather strategic hybrids. A common winning formula among fanciers is the combination of Vandenbulk, Hermans, and Vandenabele lines. This blend provides an ideal mix of sprint speed, recovery strength, and race intelligence.
The darker side of the sport has led to growing calls for change. Wu Chengming, head of Taiwan's national pigeon racing body, argues clear regulations could reduce cheating and improve animal welfare. But animal rights groups counter that the cruelty, especially in the notorious sea races, is too severe to ignore. In these races, tens of thousands of pigeons are packed onto container ships, taken far offshore, and released to find their way home. Loss rates can be staggering, with some reports saying up to 90% never make it back, fueling outrage over the suffering involved.
Legally, pigeon racing in Taiwan still exists in a murky gray zone. Authorities acknowledge the sport's huge following, but link it to crime, illegal betting, and animal cruelty. Over the years, police have raided underground gambling rings tied to pigeon clubs, seizing hundreds of millions of Taiwan dollars and arresting officials accused of corruption. The government has floated ideas for clearer regulations, such as banning offshore races, establishing a dedicated oversight body, and setting welfare standards. But progress has been slow.
UNN Field Messenger Kara shows us how to make some tasty tahini, hemp, and coconut bars. All you need is a blender, an oven, and a few simple ingredients. It's quick, easy, and the perfect healthy snack for your day.
This is Field Messenger Kara from Melbourne, Australia, reporting for United Network News. Today, I'll be showing you how to make tahini, hemp, and coconut bars. First, preheat your oven to 160 degrees Celsius or 320 Fahrenheit. Line a 20 centimeter tray with baking paper and set aside. For this recipe, you'll need half a cup of shredded coconut, half a cup of tahini, a quarter cup of pure maple syrup, a cup of dates, as well as 1 cup of rolled oats, a cup of hemp seeds, and half a teaspoon of salt. Boil some water and pour over your dates to allow to soften. Next, using a blender or a NutriBullet like I have here, pour in your cup of oats and blitz to create an oat flour. Next, adding in your hemp seeds. This is really what makes this snack extra filling. Then adding in your other dry ingredient, your coconut, and then your wet ingredients, your tahini and your maple syrup. Finally, split your dates in half, adding them in. And what I forgot to show here as well is adding in your salt on top. And there you go. Screw on your lid and blend until combined. Once your mixture looks like the consistency of this, bring back your tray and dumping that mixture into the tray. Either using your hands spread out evenly, or what I like to do as well is put some baking paper on top and spread it out that way so you don't have fingerprint lines. That's going into the oven for 10 to 15 minutes. And whilst you're waiting, grab yourself an apple. Perfect. Allow it to cool on an airer for 5 to 10 minutes before transferring to a cutting board. This makes 12 large slices, or you could dice them into 16 smaller pieces, or 15 like I've shown here. And there you have it, tahini, hemp and coconut bars. This is UNN Field Messenger Kara signing out.
UNN is changing the face of news. Join us for our weekly Field Messenger meetings and learn how you can make a difference. Visit unitednetwork.earth for more information. Thanks for watching.